The movie begins by showing Victoria Worthington, a skilled and talented cake decorator, working on a wedding cake for a customer. As she expertly crafts each delicate flower and intricate design, her best friend Steph looks on, assisting her in her thriving cake business. Once the wedding cake is complete, Victoria gathers supplies and delivers the show-stopping dessert to the waiting venue. As she navigates the bustling streets, she cannot help but feel pride and accomplishment in her work. She knows this cake will be a crucial part of the couple's special day, and she can't wait to see their joy when they look at her creation. As the wedding festivities continue, Jacob Adams, the wealthy and sought-after bachelor from a successful conglomerate family and son of J.J. Adams, finds himself chatting with his friend Hank. Despite his privileged upbringing, Jake is down to earth and doesn't flaunt his wealth, believing there is more to life than material possessions. As they talk, Lacey, a woman who has her sights set on Jake, approaches, intending to flirt with him. But he is no stranger to her scheming ways and wants nothing to do with her. Fed up with her games, he excuses himself and steps outside for fresh air. As fate would have it, Jake runs into Victoria, a talented cake decorator, who mistakes him for a catering server. Flustered, she asks for his help in bringing the wedding cake into the venue. Jake obliges, not wanting to cause a scene, and the two begin chatting as they work. Then Victoria introduces herself, unaware of Jake's true identity as the son of J.J. Adams, the CEO of Adams Property. Jake, intrigued by her passion for her work, decides to keep his family name to himself for the time being. As they continue to talk and get to know each other, an attraction begins to spark between them. The next day, as Victoria busies herself with work at her cake shop, she is confronted with a visit from her ex-fiancé, Brandon. Despite her pain and betrayal after he cheated on her, she agreed to make a wedding cake for his upcoming nuptials. Steph, who has always been protective of her friend, urges Victoria to stand up for herself and not let others take advantage of her kind nature. Meanwhile, at the Adams office, Jake's father, JJ, is meeting with Jake and Hank to discuss their plans to build a new apartment complex. The construction requires a large plot of land, which currently houses several small businesses, including Victoria's cake shop. Aware of Victoria's shop, Jake tries to persuade his father to reconsider the eviction, but JJ is resolute in his decision. Upon learning of the planned demolition of the shop area, Victoria and Steph decide to take a stand and protest against the Adams company. They see the cake business as the result of Victoria's hard work and determination, and they are not willing to let it go without a fight. Together, they plan to demonstrate in front of the Adams office, hoping to bring attention to their cause and sway the company's decision. A few days later, Victoria and Steph are busy preparing for a demonstration, creating placards, and gathering supplies. As they make their way to the Adams office, Victoria stops to buy coffee, leaving Steph to continue. As luck would have it, she runs into Jake at the coffee shop, looking dapper in a suit. Jake, caught off guard by her presence, makes an excuse that he just had a job interview. Then Victoria invites Jake to join her at the demonstration, and he agrees, unaware that it will be taking place at the Adams office. Upon arriving, Jake tries to sneak away unnoticed. But Victoria stops him and encourages him to participate, albeit with his face covered, to avoid being recognized by Adams' employees. Inside the office, JJ grows agitated by the commotion outside and orders Hanks to call security to break up the demonstration. The protesters, including Victoria and Steph, are disappointed when their efforts are unsuccessful. Nevertheless, they hope the video of their demonstration, which Victoria plans to post on social media, will inspire the Adams company to reconsider their eviction plans. After the demonstration, Victoria thanks Jake for his support and admits that she can't bear the thought of losing her cake shop, her only source of income. Jake, wanting to lift her spirits, asks her out on a date, to which she happily agrees. The next day, Victoria and Jake spend their day at Victoria's favorite bookstore. As they browse the shelves, she tells him about her love for old novels and how she has been searching for a particular one for a long time. Charmed by her passion for literature, Jake offers to buy the book for her, but she refuses, not wanting him to spend too much money on her. Hearing that, he is even more smitten with her simple and unassuming nature and begins to fall for her even more. As the day closes, Victoria returns to her cake shop, full of happiness and excitement about her new love interest. She confides in Steph about her date with Jake and how special it was for her. Steph, overjoyed for her best friend, can't wait to see where this new relationship takes them. The next day, Victoria is shocked to discover that a video of her leading a demonstration has gone viral on social media. Feeling threatened by her online popularity, JJ orders Hanks to meet with the mayor to gain support for the Adams company's plans. Despite Jake's attempts to plead with his father to let the shop tenants continue their businesses, JJ remains steadfast in his decision to move forward with the demolition. In the evening, Jake invites Victoria to dinner at a restaurant to discuss the viral video of her demonstration. At that time, she tells him about her outpouring of support and how her cake shop has been overwhelmed with customers. Unbeknownst to them, Lacey, who is also dining at the restaurant, covertly records their conversation and posts it on social media. The next day, Hanks and Jake are out golfing, and he expresses his frustration with Jake's relationship with Victoria, who is now considered an enemy of the Addams company. Hanks shows Jake the video that Lacey posted online, and suggests that he is only dating Victoria to gather the information that can be used against her. However, Jake confesses that he genuinely cares for her and wants to be with her, but Hanks warns him that JJ will never approve of their relationship, and that it could jeopardize his future as the successor to the Addams company. Then he asks Hanks to keep his relationship with Victoria a secret until he can find the right time to tell JJ. One day, while having coffee at a cafe, Hanks is approached by Lacey, who claims to have missed him. Hanks, who has had genuine feelings for her, is skeptical of her sudden attention and quickly realizes that she is only trying to gather information about Jake and Victoria. Then he rebuffs her advances and leaves. Meanwhile, Jake and Victoria are on a beach date, visiting a place that he has never been to despite the Addams company having built several properties in the area. At that time, Jake is captivated by the beauty of the beach and they enjoy each other's company, chatting and laughing as the waves crash against the shore. He contemplates telling Victoria the truth about his identity but ultimately decides against it, feeling overwhelmed by the prospect. However, he does reveal his feelings for her, who happily admits that she loves him too. When Victoria returns home, Steph tells her that Brandon has come by the shop to confirm his wedding cake order. Victoria, no longer willing to make amends with her ex-fiancé, firmly tells him that she cannot make his wedding cake, having come to terms with the fact that he is moving on to marry someone else. Steph is surprised by her newfound confidence, and she explains that she is ready to let go of Brandon and focus on her future with Jake. One morning, at the Addams company, Jake tries to convince JJ to take a break from his hectic work schedule, but he refuses, stating that he doesn't want to waste his time on things that won't bring him material benefits. However, Jake disagrees, arguing that money can't buy happiness, but JJ dismissively laughs. Later that night, Jake and Victoria enjoy a game of bowling together and even have a dance before heading home. At that time, he is having such a great time with her that he forgets to tell her about his true identity. A few days later, Victoria leads another demonstration in front of the Addams office, drawing a larger crowd than before. When the demonstration ends, JJ approaches her and tells her that his company will still proceed with the eviction of her shopping complex, no matter how hard she and her friends protest. The following day, Jake surprises Victoria at her cake shop and tries some of her lemon cake, which he says tastes similar to the one made by his grandmother, a beloved recipe that JJ used to enjoy. Sadly, after his grandmother's death, JJ has become a stubborn and unhappy person. Then Victoria invites Jake to dinner over the weekend, but he apologetically declines, saying he has to accompany his father on a trip out of town. After that, he bids her farewell and returns to the office to work. At the office, Jake attends a meeting where Hanks informs him that the local mayor has sided with Victoria, reducing the Addams company's chances of demolishing the shops. Hearing that, JJ becomes enraged and orders Hanks to contact the company's attorney to resolve the situation with Victoria as soon as possible, as the apartment project is about to begin. Then Hanks reminds Jake that he needs to tell JJ about his relationship with Victoria before it's discovered, and causes more complications. On the other hand, Lacey is determined to ruin Victoria and Jake's relationship. Soon after, she ordered a cake from Victoria's bakery for a party being held by the mayor. Victoria, excited to receive the order for a formal government event, agreed to make the cake even though it meant sacrificing her day off. Along with her assistant Steph, Victoria delivered the cake to the party location provided by Lacey. They were proud of their growing cake business. Upon arriving at the party, Victoria was shocked to see Jake dancing with Lacey. She couldn't hide her sadness, thinking Jake had cheated on her. However, at that time, Lacey threatened to reveal Jake's true identity to Victoria if he refused to dance with her. There, he had no choice but to comply. After Victoria saw Jake dancing with Lacey, she approached him to demand an explanation. Soon after, JJ arrived, and Victoria learned that Jake was the son of the man planning to demolish the shopping complex. She accused him of approaching her as a means of spying on her and smoothing the eviction process. Then he tried to convince her that he genuinely loved her, but she refused to listen and left the party immediately. As Victoria and Steph returned from the party, they were determined to prevent JJ's plans to demolish their shop. Despite Jake's efforts to reach out to her and win her back, she was unwilling to get in touch with him. In fact, when he sent her a favorite novel that she had been wanting, Victoria refused to read it once she found out it was from him. The next day, Victoria came up with a plan to prove to JJ that her shop didn't deserve to be demolished. She baked JJ's favorite lemon cake and brought it to his office, telling him that she wanted to show him she was worthy of keeping her shop because she truly loved her profession as a cake maker. She emphasized that selling cakes was not just about making money but also about bringing happiness to people through the smiles on their faces after tasting her cakes. Despite her heartfelt words, JJ remained unresponsive, and she eventually left the lemon cake on the table and said goodbye. After Victoria left, Jake tried to persuade JJ to try the lemon cake she had made, To his surprise, JJ really enjoyed it, saying it tasted just like the one made by his mother that he had been craving for so long. That night, Jake came to Victoria's shop to tell her that JJ had agreed to cancel the eviction at the shopping complex after being touched by the taste of her homemade lemon cake. Initially resistant to opening the shop door, she eventually agreed to let Jake in. Then Jake apologized and begged Victoria to take him back, even hiring two violists to play a song for them as a surprise. Despite her lingering feelings for him, she was hesitant to forgive him. However, eventually, she decided to give him another chance. In the end, a few months later, Jake and Victoria are shown to be happily married, having exchanged their vows in front of a priest. The moral that can be learned from this movie is that we don't have to search far and wide for happiness, as it can often be found in the small things in life.